A moment of silence for Kobe Bryant on the one-year anniversary of his death. A Philly native, of course, LeBron showing up in the first half and then some with the Lakers down 8. Shoving through that lane there, some contact. He drives on Furkan Korkmaz and lays it in. He had 16 points in the paint in the first half. That tied for his most in any half since joining the Lakers. And he takes that Ben Simmons, finishing that through contact. 22 points, 9 of 13 in the first half. It's the third straight half with at least 20 points, tying the longest streak in his last 10 seasons. Remember everybody talking about him for MVP? That's why. How about this? Embiid goes up for the dunk. LeBron, you see the contact? And Embiid, that's a big man falling hard to the floor. He is in some pain. LeBron speaking with the referee over his role in the fall. We've seen LeBron do that a time or two. He'd get up, he'd be okay, but here's what Embiid had to say after.
You look at it, that's a very dangerous play. And I guarantee you that if it was me, I would have probably been ejected.
Well, he stayed in the game. Embiid would keep going, too. Get some space here to knock down the three. There you go. He's grimacing, so he's still hurting. And if you're as big as Embiid is and you fall to the floor like that, you'd probably be hurting, too. Sixers go up by 9 to the fourth quarter, up a dozen. Ben Simmons hits Danny Green in transition. Ben Simmons is 17-point triple-double. There you go. About a minute to play. It's a 4-point game. LeBron drives, kicks it to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the corner for 3, yes. So it's a 1-point game. Home team still up. 15 seconds to go. There's LeBron. Look at that pass to a cutting Anthony Davis for the layup. So the Lakers went on a 13-0 run to take the lead with 11.2 seconds left. That one hurt if you're Philly. Again, up 1. Who has the last shot? The Sixers do. Tobias Harris. Matched up on Alex Caruso, and watch Tobias. Pull up Jay to take the lead. Lakers, they don't have any timeouts. Davis gets the inbounds, and he throws up a half-court shot here. I mean, he tries. Not much else he could do there. Good D by the Sixers. They win by 1. Embiid had 28 and 6. LeBron 34, 6 and 6. What a battle it was. Here's Doc Rivers after.
They showed at the end of the game like champions. You know, it's hard to kill them. Like, they just keep coming back. They keep believing. They kept making shots. It says that we're a good team. But for me, it says that we're really good, but we still have a lot of work still.
It's a really good team that they put together. Give a lot of credit to Ellen Brand and and the things that they're doing here. Obviously Doc has always won pretty much wherever he's been, and he got to play some really good basketball. So, we see as the season goes on, there's going to be a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference that's going to play championship basketball down the stretch. I know they believe that they're one of those teams.
And they should. If the Sixers could just play every game at home, Matt, they'd be unstoppable. Because since the start of last season, they're a ridiculous 39-3 at home, including 10-1 so far this season. That win, by the way, again, it's a big one. It also snapped the Lakers' streak of 10 straight road wins to start the season, and that was a franchise record for the Lakers. Let's now welcome in NBA champion Matt Barnes, who also, you guys know this at home, he played 14 seasons in the NBA, and yes, 2 with Doc Rivers as your Clippers head coach. Matt, thanks for joining us here in SportsCenter. Good to have you. Thanks for waking up so early. I know you're out west. Let's talk specifically about Doc. Why is he having so much success really immediately with Ben Simmons, with Joel Embiid, and this entire Sixers team?
Doc is a great motivator and inspirer, and I think he's just out there encouraging these guys to be themselves. And I think it obviously starts with Joel Embiid. He's playing at a MVP level. Ben Simmons is flirting around a triple-double every single game. But I think the key to this team is going to be Tobias Harris. And you remember, Tobias Harris had his best year as a pro with Doc Rivers as the Clippers coach. So Tobias Harris looks very comfortable out there. He kind of seems like the go-to guy down the stretch, which Jimmy Butler used to be. Tobias Harris is stepping in that role. And like I said, I think he's the key to that team because they need someone down the stretch that can get him a bucket, and Tobias Harris is definitely that guy.
Yeah, you hear everybody saying Embiid and Simmons, but you say Tobias Harris. With the win last night, Matt, Philly now officially has the best record in the Eastern Conference after winning 7 of their last 8. What do you think? How do you think this plays out? You got Milwaukee and Giannis, of course, and the big 3 in Brooklyn starting to gel a little bit. How does this play out in the long run?
I think it's going to be competitive. We're still, a month and a half into the season. There's still a lot of season to play, but I love what I'm seeing from there. Just hoping with Philly that Embiid can stay healthy. When he fell yesterday, I felt that out in LA. Felt a little minor earthquake under me. So I think the key is obviously keeping him healthy. But the East is strong. We always just look to the Western Conference as the dominant conference, but the East is definitely holding its own with Milwaukee And then look out for Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's starting to slowly but surely gel on the offensive end, still have some holes on the defensive end, but it's going to be fun coming down the stretch in the Eastern Conference.
And we're just getting going talking Brooklyn Nets with you, Matt. I know you're coming back later on SportsCenter for more on that. Matt Barnes and his beautiful two twin boys kind of joining us right behind you. We love them. Tell them hi, Matt. Thank you. See you in a little bit.
Ron, what do you see as the primary reason that Philly was able to build the double-digit leads sort of, once a quarter almost that you guys had to kind of dig your way out of?
It was a game of rust for them. The first quarter we put them to the free throw line way too much. I believe they had 12 free throw attempts at the end of the first quarter, something like that. And B probably may have like 8 of those. And it allowed them to get their defense set, neutralized us being able to get stops to get out on the break. So we had to do a better job of that. But I thought, listen, besides that, we held them to 21 points in the second, 26 and 26, and and gave ourselves an opportunity to win at the end, and it didn't go our way. But I loved our fight. But you got to do a better job with keeping our hands out of the cookie jar, especially with a guy like Embiid who has, Harden-like, magic as far as the swipe moves and things of that nature.
Up until that final run there, the shots weren't going down. That's happened a couple times on this trip. Have you seen anything different, or is it sort of make-miss in the way that you guys are getting shots and then converting from the perimeter?
I think we got some great looks. We play the same way every game. It's not like we change our approach, our shooters kind of struggle tonight, obviously. We need, to open up the perimeter a lot more, but we got some great shots. Didn't make them.
Wow. Hey, LeBron, that closing lineup you guys had tonight, a lot of teams, even dating back to last postseason, has struggled when you and AD are with 3 other perimeter players. Do you feel like that lineup they had tonight is a little bit of a ace in the hole that you guys have to really match up well with anybody?
Well, it's always good to know that you can go down the stretch and go to AD at the 5 and me at kind of like that point forward, and then surround us with guards and shooters. And defenders if need be. We have a lot of minutes as far as with AD at the 5 and me kind of playing the 4 on defense and playing the point on the offensive end. So it was a good lineup for us. And then also having KCP out there with AC and Dennis, it just gives us a lot of dimension, both offensively and defensively.
And
sorry about that. LeBron, AD was under 20 points again tonight. What do you think of his offensive rhythm right now? And are there things that you guys can do to try to get him going a little bit more, or is this just him working his way into the season still?
You said AD?
Yeah, Anthony.
No, I thought he missed some shots that he's accustomed to making. And I think AD is in a pretty good rhythm right now, and I think every game is getting better and better for him. But it's our job to give him the ball. It's our job to give him the ball. And I thought we did a great job at times. At times we did not. So we got to be better as well with that.
Dave.
Ron, a couple of years back, we were in Philly, and you were talking about the Sixers squad and the expectations placed upon them, and you said everybody wants instant oatmeal, but it takes some time for these things to come together. How do you view them now, the number 1 team in the East, and they just played you guys down to the wire?
I think it's a really good team that they put together. Give a lot of credit to LeBron's and and the things that they're doing here. Obviously Doc has always won pretty much wherever he's been, and you got to play some really good basketball. So we see as the season goes on, there's going to be a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference that's going to play championship basketball down the stretch. I know they believe that they're one of those teams.
2 more, Bill.
Hey, LeBron. That run that you guys had in the fourth, started with a couple of buckets from Alex, and then he has steal in there also. I'm just wondering, how have his contributions maybe evolved, or what is different about the way he's contributing to this group this year, and just how much better is he than he was a year ago?
AC is whatever we need. AC is kind of a Swiss Army knife, to be honest. If you need scissors, you need a wine opener, you need a fingernail clipper, if you need a knife, he's all of that in one. He can do it all. He just helped our ball club in so many different ways. He can bring the ball up, play the point. He can play off the ball. He's shooting, dead eye from the 3 this year, and he defends at a high level, and he doesn't make many mistakes. So you always can live with that. You can live with a guy on the floor like that and just plays championship basketball.
So you make him open your wine for you?
And I open my own wine. I'm gonna be honest. I would not let him open my wine, and that's no disrespect to him. But when it comes to my wine, I trust myself.
Sarah?
Hey, LeBron. I was just wondering, with how long you've been on the top, you've obviously had to adapt to a lot of things. I was just wondering how it is that you manage changing your game and just change in general.
You have to change with the times, I guess. You have to continue to evolve. I mean, when I came into the league, it was literally a big man's league, pretty much. And I don't mean that it's not a big man's league. Now I mean like 4s and 5s pretty much played in the paint. You had, big guys, and there was a lot of posting up, things of that nature. You had some flick wings and things of that nature, but it was a big body, big man game. And as the league evolves, you have to be able to evolve with it if you want to keep up with the time, keep up with the Joneses or keep up with the Jameses in my case. So, for me, never putting a cap on my ceiling. I just want to always continue to get better and do things out on the floor that's maybe hasn't been done and other people's